Portman Road is packed to the rafters. Suffolk really hasn't shown such football fervour since the days in the early 80s when the major challenger to Liverpool for all the major honours in the domestic game was Ipswich Town. Bringing back the good times, the management of John Lyle and the solid teamwork of these players, sprinkled with the inspiration of individuals like the two strikers, Jason Dezelle and Chris Kiwomya. Also attracting attention, Gavin Johnson, a 21-year-old from nearby Stowmarket, who takes his place on the left of midfield after treatment this week on a calf strain. And David Pleat, a word on their formation.
Well, Stockwell, Walk, Linnigan, Thompson, the normal back four that has formed a very good understanding recently. Whitton on the right, a very experienced and useful player in this hot environment today. And up front, Dezelle and Kiwomya, who John Lyle gives great credit to in his programme notes.
Well, Ian Rush is in from the start for the first time for 3 months. But Barnes, Whelan, Thomas and Molby still missing. So it is the Liverpool side which finished Tuesday's replay against Bristol Rovers. Steve McManaman, the star of that second half showing, giving another indication of how well Graham Souness has been served by his junior ranks, like Rob Jones now in the England squad, like Mike Marsh, who's been rewarded with a new contract, and most recently Jamie Redknapp, who's looking for family revenge today. Bournemouth, managed by Jamie's father Harry, beaten here in the last round.
Liverpool will line up in that formation. Rob Jones, so successful since his purchase from Crewe. David Burrows settling in at left-back again after injuries. McManaman, of course, twisting and turning down the right, or will it be the left, depending on maybe what is said at half-time. But then up front, that Saunders-Rush combination, so lethal.
Well, Liverpool, something of a League of Nations in recent years, and the latest signing, you can just see him standing up at the back of the dugout there. István Kozma from Hungary, a substitute today. The technicalities of his transfer from Dunfermline completed. Referee Alf Buksh adds to the cosmopolitan flavour of the afternoon. His origins in Fiji. He lives now in Dollis Hill in North London. So Ipswich fortified by 5 consecutive victories. Liverpool looking at the FA Cup as the most accessible of trophies to reward a season in which their resources really have been tested to the full. This really could turn out to be a footballing treat, although the gusty winds will make it a bit more difficult for both sides who like to pass the ball quickly and precisely. But for so long, from Liverpool has been the blueprint for others to follow. But this season, they have been giving their opponents a chance. Just to illustrate that, in their last 9 league games, they've gone behind in 6 of them. And of course, also in the FA Cup recently to Bristol Rovers. They've usually managed to solve their problems.
David Burrows playing his last match before suspension and in trouble with the referee straight away. Well, just over a minute gone. Rick Stockwell coming on the scene quickly here, nicked it away from Burrows. So a free kick. With the players having problems just spotting the ball here. Steve Whitten having a look at it. Oh, and very nearly from Thompson. Grobbelaar made a splendid save at the near post. Neil Thompson, the left back, with the menacing left foot, as you saw then. Liverpool on the brink of going behind in the opening moments, and arriving beyond the far post was David Linnigan, the younger brother of Arsenal's Andy.
to do that, and David Pleat's shaking his head alongside me.
I just sometimes wonder what the word is for worse than eccentric. It just seems so strange at times. There's Graham Souness on his feet. I just wonder sometimes how his colleagues justify his antics, because really, first few minutes of a cup tie, you keep everything safe, you kick it, you get it away from your goal, you try and play in the other half. You don't take chances anywhere.
Alton. Saunders can turn. Rush trying to link up with him. McManaman's available on this near side, but Saunders has eye for goal only, and with 20 to his name already this season. 13 of those in cup ties, incidentally. Well, it's always a benchmark for goal scorers to reach 20, and Saunders is there already with some 3 months of the season left. But you talk about Bruce Grobbelaar, and I think there is something of a battle of wills going on between him and Graham Souness. And there was some indication as the Liverpool manager went to the touchline a moment or two ago that he wasn't too happy with what he saw as Grobbelaar came out of his area. Stockwell, Kiwamya, turns Mark Light, leaves him. Oh, and it was Johnson. Ipswich certainly had enough players forward then. Inside the 6-yard area after terrific play by Chris Kiwamya.
Well, Gavin Johnson had a wonderful chance there to make his early mark on this game. But it's a good chance, there's no question about that. He needs to get the ball down and across the goal.
John Lyall with Mick McGibbon on the left. Also came from West Ham, of course. He's the first-team coach. Marsh might find the ball dusting his way. Walk left the trajectory well. Good tackle by Redknapp. Kiwamya. Saunders has gone offside. It was a shame for Liverpool. We've got Ray Houghton in from Dean Saunders, but he was too far forward, and no complaints from Graham Souness' side.
Fine initial play by Jamie Redknapp there, having the composure and the sense of mind to stand on the ball for a second before releasing it, and then playing a clever little reverse pass.
Walk. They needed his know-how then. Johnson. It's dropped over Nicol for Dizelle. Whitman's cross. Kiwamya coming in, it bounced over him. Little drop though for Johnson. Kiwamya didn't connect with any sort of power at all, as Liverpool were opened up, not for the first time.
It all started from that left ball to right, sweeping crossfield ball, hit in early then by Steve Whitten, and then there was all sorts of problems in the goal mouth.
Saunders is away though for Liverpool. Can he finish with more authority? He can't. Well, we could have had the score at either end. This was a ball that bounced over Kiwamya, cut back intelligently by Johnson, and Kiwamya swinging at it. Not an easy ball to strike. He's a very bubbly character, Chris Kiwamya. He'll talk to you in his broad Yorkshire accent. Dizelle, linesman is flagging. Kiwamya was trying to follow in a shot from Dizelle. He got a rebound off the goalkeeper. In the end, he blocked it. It wouldn't have mattered in any case because the linesman had intervened.
Although he got the free kick given against him there, Jason Dizelle, I'm very impressed so far with the way that he's getting his body between his opponent and the ball. He's looking very strong. I'm sure that John Lyall has impressed upon him the need to be powerful. With all his good touches and his good skills, they're rendered useless unless he's strong with the ball and in possession and chasing for the ball. And certainly so far, Jason Dizelle is a handful, and so is Chris Kiwamya.
I think Dizelle feels his best position is operating a little deeper with two in front of him, rather than being one of the two up front, which brings one back again to the comparisons with Trevor Brooking, who did, I believe, in his early days have some experience as a striker with West Ham before he became the talent that was so widely appreciated. Header from Linnigan.
McManaman. Burrows helping from behind. Saunders, rush in the centre. Redknapp. Well, everything that's happening here has a touch of the elements about it. And Craig Forrest didn't wave that one goodbye, and it was fortunate that he concentrated on where the ball finally did drop. It was going to drop under the bar in the end. Corner, which came about really in freak circumstances. Marsh. There's no offside here. Redknapp to Saunders. Liverpool with three in the centre. Rush to guide it through where Mike Marsh had made a run. Thompson safely back to Forrest. They have their tried and trusted methods for dealing with the pressure flowing at this level. And Saunders is not going to be allowed to go on for a shove that the linesman took exception to. Thompson. Neatly by Kiwomya for Johnson. He's got quite a variety to his play, and that was a strong run. We've seen his ability to get into the penalty area, and to dead passes as well. It's quite a diffident character, but is beginning to feel more confident out there on the pitch. Linnigan, if anything, coming from even deeper this time on the near side as we look. He comes in like a stormtrooper.
And Liverpool from this corner, all marking spaces.
Grobbelaar will have to go a second time. The scrum is around him, and the goalkeeper did very well in trying circumstances. First one up in the air, the second one safely behind for the corner. And Ipswich will try, one would think, put the ball in a similar area. Once more. Grobbelaar equal to the test. They're starting to get these corners on course. John Walk, very nearly, well, within inches of putting Ipswich in front. Another corner. Liverpool are straining here. But as with so much of their season, capitulating. It's Walk again. Headed back by Stockwell, glanced on by Walk, and well, Kiwomya looked as though he was being tugged back by Rob Jones then. Forrest waving Stockwell away, he'd come for a short goal kick. But Forrest quite happy, look at the distance he can get. And Grobbelaar will get in the second half. Rush. Saunders barring the way to goal with help from Stockwell. Now McManaman. Free there for the back heel. Rush for Marsh. Again, the pace taken out of the shot. Just for a second I thought the deflection was going to wrong foot Forrest. Would have been very hard on Ipswich. They've certainly made the most of the conditions in their favour in the first half in terms of share of the ball and creating opportunities, and maybe one more before half-time, and Johnson prepared to run at illustrious opponents.
take shape again in the second half. Bruce Grobbelaar, who's never been on a winning side in a league game here. And his FA Cup position threatened by John Walk's header, which rocked against the crossbar. But Grobbelaar goes in unbeaten at half-time. A very tricky day for playing, but Ipswich Town really giving it a go. Half-time at Portman Road, it's Ipswich 0, Liverpool 0.
Welcome back. No goals at half-time. Our guests, John Duncan, who was in charge here before John Lyle, and David Johnson had spells with both clubs. John, on the balance of the play, Ipswich a little unfortunate not to be in front.
I would say that, but the conditions are obviously bringing the game into Liverpool's half in the first half. A win carrying the ball up there, but I thought Ipswich did adapt their tactics better than Liverpool.
There could have been a goal up inside the first minute. A lovely free kick from Neil Thompson.
Yeah, he struck this really well, low and hard. Grobbelaar gets his hands to it and eventually kicks it round the post, but the best thing about it was everyone was expecting a cross, especially in the first minute, and the guy had the confidence to take a chance at it.
Very soon after David Johnson, Gavin Johnson with a header perhaps should have done better than he did.
Oh, I think he took after me there, decided not to score, put it into the crowd. It's you know, the lad does well at the back on the right flank, knocks a good ball in, he flicks it on and maybe he should have done better. You know. I think if he'd even headed it back across the goal...
Always stretching, wasn't he? And the wind had carried it away from him a little bit.
Ipswich had the player waiting in the 6-yard box. If he'd have anything back across the goal, it's got a chance with the wind drifting into the far post or the lad knocking it in.
Kiwomya found himself unmarked, I think. Edge of the 6-yard box. John, again, nicely worked opportunity.
It comes into Milhian that ends up with Gavin Johnson wide on the left.
Nudge there, perhaps, from Rob Jones.
Yeah, he does really well to get it back, and Kiwomya's going back away from the goal. Yeah. It's really only a half chance. He probably does well to get it on target, but there's little chance it's going to go in.
Well, John Walk was on target, but...
It's very similar to the Johnson effort. You know, this is from a corner, it goes far post, and Walkie normally buries these. You know, great header, but... You know, unfortunately, it's at the bar on the post and come out.
Bruce Grobbelaar had a really good spell there as Liverpool were beginning to buckle. Yeah, lost the flight of that one then.
Yeah, they were under extreme pressure. They had about like 3 or 4 corners, and he had to deal with the crosses. You know, lucky to get away with it, you know, to be honest, at the end of it. But he coped, apart from the walkie crossing, which he had no chance of getting hold of in any case.
Just the one Liverpool chance to speak of, really, when Saunders got himself clear. He should have done better.
Well, this is bread and butter to Dino. He scored 20 goals, and normally you see him, and he normally buries these. He just had that change of mind, and which is fatal for the striker. Because
I think he saw that post get covered, didn't he, and decided he'd maybe go the other way.
But it was that split second he was through, and normally, you know, he just makes his mind up and sticks it in.
You've got to give the keeper credit there. Yeah. I mean, he stood up, he hasn't gone down. It's him that's on the day there for Ipswich.
It's easy for us up here, isn't it?
That's right.
Oh, it is, David.
Yeah.
Much easier.
I scored.
0-0 here at half-time.
Reaction is to get the game back to the goalkeeper, who was very busy just before half-time and came through some major examinations most capably. Ipswich Town, and they are still Ipswich Town after the applications from the local councillors here to become England's latest city, an honour that was done to Sunderland. Bucks just asking Mickey Stockwell to go a bit deeper for the throw. Whitton. Gazelle. Fleeting moments to appreciate his talent in the first half. Walk. Saw that a much better angle in the crowd. We were appealing for handball against Jones. Houghton. Saunders must have been the player given offside. Rush was very angry with the way the linesman put the flag up. Don't read too much into that. Forrest scampering there to suggest that he believed he needed to stop the ball, otherwise it would be a corner. No wonder If he'd stayed put and accepted the inevitable, what the decision might have been. Really made up the mind of the referee then by his reaction. Oh, and right, the ball's in the net, but the goal isn't going to stand. Now Butch indicating that he'd seen a push on what would have been Mark Wright's first in Liverpool's colours. Well, it'll have to wait.
That was fascinating to watch the goalkeeper there as he tried to get amongst the two Liverpool players, McMenamin and Rush, and decided he couldn't get for it. Slightly fortunate, and I'm sure the decision was absolutely correct, but Hallworth was stranded. Forrest was stranded, sorry.
Houghton. Here's Kiwomya. Three around him for Liverpool. The outcome is an Ipswich free kick. Whitten has made a perceptive run. And Gazelle, can he get to this one? Well, he did, and it bounced almost tamely towards Grobbelaar. He had Kiwomya alongside him. Walk, who certainly played his part, and went to Liverpool, incidentally, as the player to replace Graham Souness when he moved to Italy. Thompson, it's a stray header, a shot from Houghton. I'm sure something that's been spoken about in the Liverpool dressing room at half-time, the value of using the wind with long-range shooting.
Yeah, a splendid perception by Houghton. He just hit it enough on the downswing there to have beaten Forrest should it have been accurate.
Whit over Dozell. The youngest player ever to score a First Division goal for Ipswich. 16 years and 57 days. Might have had one or two ball boys older than that at the ground that particular day. I think it was against Coventry. Walk in difficulties here as Saunders came careering through, and Forrest and Walk got closer and closer and nearly crashed into each other. That would have delighted Saunders if it had happened. Moment between a goalkeeper who's increasing in experience now. He's played, I think, over 150 times for Ipswich, and a defender who certainly knows the rules in those situations, but they didn't get it right, David.
No, but I thought the goalkeeper did very well there, Craig Forrest, to concentrate as he was going back onto the ball. Saunders was running alongside him, and he did very well. It was a very difficult moment for him.
Here's McManaman. Dumped down by Nicol, but no foul given. And Liverpool getting on with the job. Kiwomya looking to take on a renowned international defender, and he got the better of Wright. Didn't quite get the pass as he would have liked for Gazelle, but that was talented trickery from Kiwomya.
Once Ipswich get the ball out, particularly if they can get it to Kiwomya, to his feet, then they've got to get out very quickly and try and get into the Liverpool half, or otherwise they'll get penned back. But if they can do that and build a little bit of play in their half, then they might just get back into this game.
John Lyle, like the rest of us, I think, still unsure as to what the outcome will be. But he'll be knowing what they're trying to do at this free kick. To have it, couldn't get a grip on the ball. Linnigan was applying some physical force in there. I don't think anyone else touched the ball until it bounced off Grobbelaar's chest. Kiwomya for Dozell. Grobbelaar comes out. Gavin Johnson, can he Grobbelaar. Wow, almost unbelievable. And they're counting their blessings, those connected with Liverpool here.
Well, a delightful little touch by Kiwomya that set the result through. When he squared it across, there was the shot. It was Gavin Johnson. And then when it came off the post, quite amazingly really, going back into Grobbelaar's hands. I think there was 4 simultaneous heart attacks on the Liverpool bench. Quite an incredible moment. Souness has been quoted as saying he's never won an FA Cup final, and he's heard this crazy quotation that sometimes your name's on it. And I have to say, it's those type of incidents that can be brought up in dressing room and suggested to players that this is our year, it's going to happen for us. That was almost unerring, unnerving.
Into the Liverpool picture comes István Kozma, the Hungarian who played briefly in France, had some 2.5 years in Scotland with Dunfermline. It's not an easy one to hit, but it's a shot on target for Liverpool. Johnson only knocked it to Marsh. Saunders, he sees the goal, but doesn't find it. Forest, they believe here, with the continuing improvement, will become recognised as one of the best goalkeepers in the business. This is Kozma. István Kozma played in the Skull Cup final this season for Dunfermline and actually played in that game as a striker. He's a man of many parts. McManaman. 8 minutes to go. Burrows. Oh, it's Jones, who has a couple of goals to his name in his days with Crewe. We're into the last 5 minutes. Play from him, all arms and legs and knees and pumping heart done. Very nearly left Liverpool in his wake, trying to supply Dozzell and Kiwomya. Kozma. Well, they'll see better shots from him, I'm sure, the Liverpool supporters. Burrows, Linnigan's header. Taken on by Johnson. And he ran away from Ray Houghton. Dozzell, this is Milton. He saw the headlines being printed out in front of him then.
I think he saw the replay money.
Bristol Rovers did against Liverpool in the last round. Ipswich Town have shown the second division in a very good light. But Liverpool are hoping that it will be a similar outcome. It's certainly a replay. John Walt's header that crashed against the crossbar in the closing minutes of the first half was in the end as close as they came, alongside Ray Houghton diverting the ball under pressure from Gavin Johnson against his own post, from which it ricocheted to a grateful Grobbelaar. Moments like that you look at in retrospect as a cup run develops. The replay at Anfield is a week on Wednesday. And that is a ground where, as I say, even with the strong sides of the 70s, Ipswich have never won. So you would say it's looking good for Liverpool. They've avoided defeat in a most testing tie, particularly the difficulties in the latter stages of the first half. And in what has been a most testing season for them, the FA Cup does remain very much within their reach.